Hi, this is Sue Jackson of the Book by Book blog, and I haven't been around much lately. I got COVID, so did several other members of my family. We've been very, very careful because I have an immune disorder, and we care for my 96-year-old father-in-law, but it was actually visiting him that we all got sick. It's a long story. I'll give you the short version. My father-in-law fell and broke his hip right before Christmas. They did surgery on Christmas Eve. He had been living in assisted living, but of course he couldn't go back there. So they moved him to a rehab nursing home facility. It's very close to our house, which is great. And my son and my husband and I were all visiting him every single day. He's got dementia, so this whole thing with breaking his leg and being in the hospital and the surgery and then moving to a new place was very, very difficult for him, very confusing. So we were visiting every day. We were all wearing masks. We're all vaccinated. And I just point that out because this Omicron variant is just insanely contagious. And of course now we were wearing cloth masks. And of course now the recommendation is for something a little stronger. But yeah, so that's our house. Thankfully, the son that lives here with us and also got COVID is young and very healthy. So, but it still hit him hard. And that's the other thing that's been frustrating to me, hearing all this stuff on the news about how, oh yeah, the Omicron variant's contagious, but it's mild. It hasn't been mild for us. And my son, who, as I said, is very healthy normally, he was down for a whole week and was very, very sick during that time. It's been just over a week for me now. You can hear I'm just getting my voice back. The cough and chest congestion are a little bit better, but I still have zero energy. I was really going back and forth on whether to do this or not, but I'm really missing talking about books. So here I am, just a short video. Get back in the swing of things with a little Friday Reads. So that's actually why I'm here for Friday Reads. Okay, so ironically, I mean, you would think being sick I'd have loads of reading time, but I've been so sick I really haven't been able to read much, which doesn't happen to me very often. I have a chronic illness. I'm used to having bad days, and I normally can read a lot. With this, even though I only had a fever the first day, my eyes have been burning. So I'd read for like 10 or 15 minutes and then my eyes would just get sore and burning and I'd have to put the book down and take another nap. Some days I'm just sleeping all day long. So not a lot of reading going on, unfortunately. But I'm really enjoying the book that I am slowly making my way through. It's called Happiness by Aminata Forna. My husband gave this to me for my birthday. I had asked for it because I don't know where I saw it, but I had seen it on Best of lists or heard about it somehow, maybe on BookTube or in the blogging world. And it's just the kind of story that I like, which I'm sure is why I thought that I'd like reading it. It's a story about two very different people from completely different backgrounds whose lives intersect. And I always enjoy that kind of a story. So the two main people here are Jean. Jean is an American. She's a wildlife biologist. She is currently in London doing a study on urban foxes. You can see the little fox on the cover there. I don't know if you know this. I've read other books about this, but urban foxes are like a huge issue in London. They're all over the place. Actually, we live in the suburbs here in the US, and we have lots of foxes around our house, but we've got woods right behind us. But in London, there are foxes all over the place. So Jean is there to study the urban foxes, to kind of catalog the ones in her neighborhood and within a certain region, to study their habits. Where are they building dens? Where are they settling down? That sort of thing. So that's Jean. And one night on the Waterloo Bridge, she literally bumps into a very tall black man named Attila. He doesn't know why his parents named him Attila, but it is spelled the same way as that, Attila. And he is a psychiatrist who specializes in PTSD. He's from Ghana, and he spends a lot of time in London also because, well, in this case, he's there for a conference where he's supposed to give a keynote speech. But there are other reasons why Attila comes to London, which are revealed as the story goes on. So these are two very different people. They meet on the bridge and then just coincidentally meet several more times. Although they have this great discussion about coincidence, so maybe not coincidence, but it's a quiet story. There are some things that happen, like a little boy that Attila knows. He's kind of like an uncle to the boy. He goes missing, and Jean joins in to help him search for the boy. So there are some things that happen. There is action here, but much of it is a very quiet story about these two people and how their lives cross and how they get to know each other. I'm finally a little more than halfway. Like I said, it's been slow going this past week, but I'm really enjoying it. Even though I can't read for very long, I look forward to getting back to it every time. So that's Happiness by Aminata Forna. On audio, I am still listening to my first audiobook of the new year, The Sentence by Louise Erdrich. Again, I haven't had a lot of listening time either, just because my whole family's been here. We've all been quarantining together. So, not a lot of, normally I listen while I'm doing things, taking a walk, emptying the dishwasher, cooking, whatever. And I just don't have the energy to do anything right now. So I'm not listening an awful lot either. But this book is like a cozy blanket to me right now. I love Louise Erdrich's novels, and I especially love listening to her on audio because she reads her own books. And she reads them in just the perfect voice. And of course, she's the author, so she knows exactly what she meant and where to put the emphasis. And it's just such a pleasure listening to Louise Erdrich narrate one of her own books. And this sentence is wonderful. It's got kind of a meta component. It takes place partly in Louise Erdrich's own bookstore. So in real life, the author runs a bookstore in Minnesota, in Minneapolis. I think it's called Birch Bark Books. And it's got an emphasis on Native American literature, though, it's a regular bookstore. They carry everything. And the bookstore and Louise herself are in the sentence. Not the main character, though. The main character is a Native woman named Tookie. And Tookie's had kind of a checkered past. She actually was in prison. That's how the novel starts out. But now she works in Louise's bookstore. And Tookie's dealing with all kinds of things. She's married. A big part of the first part of the book is that one of their biggest customers dies, and Tookie starts to see and hear the ghost in the bookstore, which totally freaks her out. So there's a lot of that. But then about halfway through, and this is interesting because I didn't really pay attention to when the book was taking place. And then all of a sudden, it's March 2020. And of course, we all know what comes next. So really fascinating. I'm finding all kinds of fiction, TV, movies, books that are looking at the pandemic as it happens are just fascinating, because now, with the benefit of hindsight, we know what's coming, but the characters don't. And, I just find that really interesting. So, and also they're in Minneapolis, so George Floyd happens. So, like all of Louise Erdrich's books, it is just, there's so much depth to it. It's moving, it's thoughtful and thought-provoking, but it's also really funny. I mean, I was just listening to a part of the book before I started this, where Tookie is visiting one of their customers during the pandemic, one of the regular customers that she hadn't heard from in a while, and dropping off some books to him. And, their conversation, and this is right after George Floyd happened, the whole city is in an uproar. Tookie's been very upset, as has her whole family, but there are still moments of humor. And I love that about Louise Erdrich, how she can discuss really serious issues, but still not lose that sense of humor. So that's The Sentence by Louise Erdrich. My current comfort read on audio. I highly recommend it. And also Happiness as well. So let me know in the comments down below what you've been reading. Hopefully you've been healthy and able to start the new year the way one normally does. I am behind on everything. It's not just videos. I haven't been able to do anything at all. So, my blog, I usually set goals for the new year. Nothing has happened. But, I'm hoping that, I'm hoping my energy will start to come back now. So that's it for me. Let me know down below what you're reading, because I have really been missing talking books with all my book friends.